Hi, my name is Rafa, also known as Kulguy on Post Grad Movies, a essentially monthly movie podcast that I have with a friend of mine from back in college when we were there. It started off when we had just graduated college and then eventually into our postgraduate research at different institutions. And because it started after we essentially finished 4 years of undergraduate degrees, we were looking for a cheap solution to be able to record audio. So we essentially ended up turning to USB microphones, which are serviceable, right? You can get them for cheap on Amazon. But eventually I decided that I wanted to change to something that was a little bit more good, more controllable, right? More fine-tunable. So I was actually using one of those XLRs that comes with these things. They're sold on Amazon for like $20 to $30 or so, and the XLR cable runs along the inside. And that XLR cable was not good. So it got to the point where I didn't want to buy another arm like these. So instead, what I did was I just unplugged the cable and left it hanging. And then I just wrapped the IO cable around it and plugged it in to replace it. So I was running with like a terrible cable that was disconnected and the IO cable replacing it on the same arm for quite a bit. The difference in audio quality actually from the sort of standard one that came with the system and then the IO one is night and day, because I essentially was getting audio getting cut off just if I would tap the arm incorrectly. So I was trying to make sure that I wasn't moving as much as possible, and not just that, but potentially some kind of like electronic interference, and it would be like a buzzing noise inside of the recording. So realistically, as soon as I switched to IO and none of that was occurring, I realized that all of the problems that I had been having, especially in like post-recording and editing workflows, was specifically and directly tied to the quality of the XLR cable. It's one of those things where you don't realize how good it can sound until you actually make the switch and you go through a mixer and you pump it right into your computer, right? And luckily for us, we switched approximately like 2 years ago, and I haven't looked back since. Wherever I go, I tend to take my cables and my microphone with me and a small mixer. And it really has made a world of difference, because the quality of sound that you're getting straight from USB, from any kind of onboard microphone that you can put on your desk, is way lower than the quality that you would get from an actual dedicated microphone with an XLR connection. And we've definitely seen the pros of that, so much so that we've moved from recording from a very specific way via the internet to recording locally on our computers, because that is what makes the most difference, right? And then we just send each other the files. And the quality is way better. And we've gotten comments about how the quality has improved substantially from that point moving forward. And our sound continues to improve even to this day, years later, because, you know, even though it takes some getting used to, the quality that you're getting from all of this stuff is even better. And the workflow continues to improve and the processing continues to improve because we have better audio. And none of that, honestly, would be possible without specifically excellent IO audio technologies, XLR cables, like this one. Thank you for having me. I've been Rafa, or Kulguy, on the Post Grad Movies Podcast, a monthly movie podcast where a friend and I, that are now both researchers at universities, talk about movies and also occasionally science, if you're into that. You can just search anywhere that you would like for Post Grad Movies. What was the difference? The IO difference.